Hello, ladies and gentle people. Welcome back to Day 9 Daily number 360, where we learn to be a better gamer. We're doing training exercises to improve our mental checklist. Now, it's kind of funny. One thing that actually I do in every daily is constantly look over and watch the chat while I'm talking. Actually, a lot of the times when you'll hear me sort of lose my train of thought, it's because my brain got flipped or blipped off by something in the chat. I don't mean flipped off. It's not like my brain got shot the bird or something like that. It's like my brain hits like a little hump or something like that. And the reason I watch the chat is it allows me to sort of steer the content based upon what you guys are saying. However, I was playing StarCraft the whole time, so I didn't know what anyone was saying. So I found out in the chat some people had some really great questions. So because it's really great, let's go ahead and look at what that question was. The question was, well, what if we have a lot of barracks like this? How do we end up doing this little check the progress bar thing? Well, you'll notice that it ends up being kind of similar. Let's do the same exercise. Before we were just doing SCV and one Marine like that. Now let's just have our Marines as 1, our barracks, all our barracks as 5, and our command center as 4. So I want you to loop around in circles. And then when you have to build out of the barracks, I want you to hit 4. I want you to hit A 4 times. Not spam A. And we end up doing that. And see, as we're doing this, if we just do it blindly like this, not even checking, we'll see when the barracks end up churning out the Marines, because we won't see the little white dots. What most players do, and when I say most, I mean even high-level players like Bomber, who I've had the pleasure of seeing play, is they just click on one of the barracks. They click like that, right before it ends up coming off. And this isn't too hard. Alright, we're just kind of doing this. Alright, see, we're kind of moving around. Alright. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Now, I do want to note that for any of you wanting to do this, I recommend just using a regular map. There are multitask trainers out there, but a multitask trainer doesn't allow you to stay focused like this does, like doing stuff yourself. It really, really does not at all. It will be very useful if you're trying to go for the extra, like, to the 99th percentile from the 90th percentile, but to be able to sit down and just allow yourself to macro like a normal person, go ahead and do this stuff. Alright, so now I want to come back and I want you to reset up your hotkeys. 4 is going to be our command center. 5 is going to be our barracks. 5 is going to be our barracks with a tech lab. 6 is going to be our barracks that makes Marines. Right, so we have 4, 5 here as this barracks, and then 6 as our nothing barracks. Now, I want you to just build SCVs and Marauders and Marines. Go ahead and start moving your units around however you want, not too far from the tower. The important thing is to do this 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. Now, as we're doing this, I want you to feel where your eyes are spending time. Be really aware of that resource of your eyeballs. Where are the eyeballs looking? They're spending a lot of time looking here, right? A lot of time looking at these progress bars down here. Some time spent up here, most spent down here. Oops, my barracks is getting close to building a Marine, and boom. Got it pretty nice and on time. Alright, good, good. I want you to notice how much time you're spending there. What we've started with in part 1 was just building SCVs, then we did SCVs and Marines, and then we did SCVs, Marines, and moving around units, and now we're even putting in SCVs, Marines, moving units, and building Marauders, right? So we're kind of getting up there. I'm going to add 2 things that you're going to want to cheat on, and they're the 2 most important things. Damn it. They're the minimap and your money. The minimap and your money. Alright? So we're going to be building units, building SCVs, moving our army around, and we're going to be checking the minimap. We're going to be checking our money. Make your eyes fucking do it. Make your eyes do it, because you're going to be like, no, I was fine. And then you're going to go back to staring Don't stare. Look at the mini-map. Look at the money, all right? Just look. We're not going to do. We're going to look. We're going to check it. We're going to check it. Man, I got really pissed off about that. Now, let's go ahead and prepare for our exercise. All right, we have our Marines in the middle. I want you to do something a little weird sounding. I want you to take some SCVs, and I want you to send one to your natural and one to the main and natural at each of the other locations on Shattered Temple. We're going to be using these in just a moment. Alright, cool. I've sent one to each location. Now, let's get ready. Follow along with me. Alright, we have our command center, 1 barracks, 2 barracks. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ready to build those units and get ready to move our Marines. So here we go, 4S5D6A. Oh, Jesus, we didn't build supply depots. Alright, let's go home and let's build some supply depots. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the exercise will commence momentarily. Yeah, let's go ahead and get these out of the way. Again, I've left supply depots out of the equation just to make certain that we don't end up worrying about this. And I can actually explain, while we're waiting, why I left the supply depots out of the equation. Because I want to work on the checking part, and we're noticing that do kind of follows naturally from that. We talked about checking your SCVs, and the do, or excuse me, checking your command center, and the do was build another SCV when it's done. When we step into check your money and your supply, a natural do response is building the supply depots. But we haven't gotten there yet, right? First we want to just feel what that's like for our eyes. Let's go ahead and do the mini-map part right now. So get ready. We're going to get ready to build everything. Here we go. Here we go. 4S5D6A. 1. Click. Now, as I'm clicking around, I want you to go 4, 5, 6, mini-map, money. Keep moving around. 4, 5, 6. Build that SCV minimap. Money. Alright, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. Minimap. Money. Alright, cool. You can train yourself to do things. Every time I am building something, I check my minimap and check my money. So here we go. It looks like I have a little bit of free time. Check my minimap, check my money. I check that minimap as often as I can. Uh-oh, I'm getting close to building an SCV. S, check minimap, check money. A, check minimap, check money. Alright, cool. We're coming up on a D. Here we go, here we go. Get ready for it. D, check minimap, check money. Now, I want to try to get your eyes a little bit more specifically honed. Alright, SCV, check minimap, check money. I want to start looking at specific things, really specific things on the minimap as I'm looking around. Alright, 6A. Check the SCV at the far left main. Alright, now I'm going to be saying it in shorthand. I'm going to be saying left main, left natural, north main, north natural. And I want you to look at that SCV that's up at the north main on the minimap. Alright, 6A, north main. Check SCVs, keep moving. Check around, check minimap, check money. Check the bottom right expansion on the entire map. Look at that. Now look at your money, alright? And when you look at your money, briefly say in your head what the number is, right? So that way you're not just putting your eyes there, you're registering some information. Look at the right main quickly on the minimap, 6A, right? You're starting to really see that even though I introduced 2 things that required no action, looking at the minimap, looking at your money, that suddenly your mental load has just has gone up a lot. Those are the 2 hardest skills, in my eyes, of becoming really good. And 2 skills that people do not actively work on enough. In fact, choking, the biggest thing that is occurring when someone is choking is that they're not looking at the minimap and they're not looking at their money. And I don't mean when you choke your money gets high and when you choke you don't look at the minimap. What I'm saying is when you get nervous, you naturally stop looking at the money and you stop looking at the minimap because you haven't actively worked on it. You have not actively worked on this thing. Sure, you've actively worked on your build. Your build sort of is automated now. We're trying to automate this process. So let's go ahead and keep doing it. Let's go ahead and keep doing it, right? Check the minimap, check money. All right, let's do it a little faster now. Let's do it a little faster now. All right, check minimap, check money. And I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to not quite be able to say everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it, right? I'm still moving my Marines around. Look at the top left natural. Okay, good. Look at the bottom natural. Look at your main base. Alright, good. Start looking around. Make sure you're not missing anything. Make sure you're not missing anything. Keep moving around. Excellent. Excellent, right? We're looking at all these things. Look at minimap, look at money. Now, pause again. That one is going to take people a lot of time to do. And a lot of people are going to think to themselves that they have it down pat. Like, yeah, I'm good, I'm ready to go. Now I want you to work on this idea of check and then do. All right? Check command center, do. Build an SCV. Check barracks. Do we have to build a marine? And if we do, let's build a marine. Etc., etc., etc. Now we're going to check the minimap and we're going to introduce a do. All right? So let's go ahead and pop back into the game. Here we go. Resuming. Now let's go ahead and make sure we're building out of all our various things as we're continuing to loop things around. Now quickly look at the left natural and move this guy around. All right, cool. And whoopsie daisies, I messed up that rally point. See? I have a blip. I have something that messed up. Whoopsie daisies, look at that. Messing up. Gotta reset that. Whoops, that's the wrong barracks. Reset that. Alright, cool. Now quickly look at the right SCV and move them around. Alright, look at the right natural, or the right main. Move it around. Oops, I missed an SCV. Alright, I want you to look at the north on the minimap and not do anything. North on the minimap and not do anything. Alright, keep looking around. Look at the west on the minimap. Don't do anything. Now, alright, now quickly go to the south natural and move the SCV around. Alright, cool. Now quickly go to your main base. Okay, cool. See, we're looking at the minimap and we're starting to do. We're starting to look at the minimap, and what I'm trying to train you to do is, if for some reason there is, oh my god, units up here, I can just grab it and move around. Oh my god, is that a drop going on? Let me check that. Oh my god, neither of my barracks were building. Ooh, I'm such a vile, grody newbie. And what have I not said in a while? I haven't said check money in a while. I haven't said check money in a while. Well, yeah, look, check this south guy, check money, okay? Every time after you check the minimap, you should be checking your money. Alright, keep moving around. Top natural, quickly. Alright, cool. Right natural, alright, cool. Alright, left main, alright, cool. Now, one thing that a lot of the multitask trainers I play around with do is they actually do an alert and ping the minimap. I don't like that because I want you to be able to train yourself to look at the minimap, because let me show you something that can actually happen a good bit of the time. You have an expansion building, and as you're moving around, watch what happens when I'm trained to look at the minimap. Alright, so I'm checking my stuff and checking my stuff. I look at the minimap and I see this giant green dot, and I'm like, oh yeah, how far is that from being complete? Alright, I don't have to worry about transferring SCVs soon. So if you're in your own multitask trainer, little self-trainer example, I want you to start checking to get ready to expand, right? And when do you check? Every once in a while when you check the minimap. Now, briefly, check the north on the minimap. Alright, cool. Alright, and let's go ahead and check how our command center is doing. Isn't that useful that we were looking on the minimap while we were doing that? Isn't that useful? Yep, alright, let's see. Yep, I gotta send my workers to mine somewhere because I noticed that there were no minerals on the minimap. Quickly, top left natural. Okay, cool. And I'm out of money. Okay, our command center is almost done, so let's go ahead and move these guys. I know you might be out of money, but just go ahead and hit 5A and that sort of thing. And see, when you're staring at the minimap constantly, you have a ridiculous amount of awareness. And that is basically going to wrap up the Terran lesson, but I want you to just list out all the things that we did. We checked our command center, our barracks 1, our barracks 2, move army, and then we did minimap money. This is all the things that we were working on right now. This is all the stuff that we have worked on thus far. I'm going to step on to Protoss next, but I want you just to look at how much there was to work on with these simple list of 6 things. Am I making units? Excuse me, am I making workers? Am I making units? Am I looking at my army and telling it to do stuff? Have I checked the minimap? Have I checked my money? Checking the minimap, checking the money is going to be the really way hardest thing ever for you to do. But what I want to do now is talk about this last one, the money aspect. The money aspect, right? All this other stuff we've practiced. And again, to review, with the command center, we got very used to hitting... Oopsie daisies. I guess I can't hit 4 right now because I have the chat open. We checked our command center. We hit 4 a couple times to check that, and 4S we needed to. We checked our barracks 1 and 2 with 5D, 6A, 5, 6, 5, 6. We had our army moving around with control group 1. We looked at the minimap with our eyes, and then we did this do response, again clicking on various locations. But what have we done with the money? What have we not done with the money? We have not built. That is what the key is. Whenever you check that top, that's when it's time for your brain to think to itself, what is my build? So in a sense, you know how I always say things like, get your build down in between games, make big decisions between games? That's kind of why we end up doing that, right? Because the money is one of the many things on our mental checklist, and that money is going to be the trigger for us to build. So let's go ahead and play versus AI. Let's go ahead and just make on any old map. I'm going to go ahead and do Shattered Temple. Let's go ahead and remove this super easy computer. Let's make it a 1v1. Let's remove this computer that managed to sneak in. I will be the illustrious yellow Protoss. So now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try a build, but not before I practiced a whole bunch in a regular, empty single-player mission. I actually showed that you play against an AI, and this is how you get it started, so that way you can do this with yourself. So now I am ready, now that I have played out in the single player against an empty map, just to work on some of these basic mechanics, just to work on my mental checklist, working through it all. Now I'm ready to try a build order. But again, I want to just do big broad categories, just for you right now. Build workers, build units, check minimap, check money. And after the check money is when I consider my build. And occasionally this ordering will change, like if it's, if it's like check minimap, because you have a scout worker going out, you want to be checking the minimap a lot more. Totally exactly what you should do. Exactly what you should do. Or, we have build probes, build units. Hey, right when your warp gates are getting done, you're going to want to reprioritize that. It's exactly what we want to end up doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say, do a 3-gate expand against Zerg. 3 warp gate, expand, and then I'm going to transition into a 5-gate push with stalkers. So let's go ahead and unpause, click, go. Let's go ahead and use my 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. Let's go ahead and hotkey that. And again, as I'm doing this build, I want to be just making certain that I am checking this a lot. A lot of people do this to keep their hands warm, and that's fine. I don't actually mind that. But you're noticing how often I'm actually going down here and hitting 4E to check that. Sorry, 4E, minimap, money. Check your minimap still here right now, even though there's nothing to check, because why not? So hey, look, I checked my money. I'm going to send it back. Alright, I'm still hitting 4E. Alright, let's go ahead and hotkey this as 1. So, because you know what? I'm going to want a chrono boost in a second here. So I'm just making sure my probes are built, and see how I'm checking the pylon more and more and more, and chrono boost. Great. I didn't actually build this anywhere near the ramp. Whoopsie daisies, I don't really care too much. I'm not practicing that this game. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and keep building probes. And you know what? I might be bad about chrono boosting, so I might miss this chrono boost right now. Not a big deal. Not what I'm working on. So I checked my money. Let's start really saying all the things that are happening, right? Let's start really saying all the things that are happening. Hotkey this, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And you know what? After my gas, I want to scout. That's just what I've decided before the game even started. I decided when I was going to send that scout out. So let's go ahead and have this guy hotkeyed as 1. So here I am, minimap, money. 4E, minimap, 4. Moving my scout around, minimap, money. Minimap, money. I'm occasionally coming back here because, I looked at my minimap and I saw that there was this extractor coming in. Whoopsie daisies. Minimap, money. Oh, I wasn't checking my money enough. I was late on a pylon. Okay, cool. Alright, continuing to scout around. Minimap, 4, 5, 4, 5. And now, oh my gosh, my money, it's high. Yeah, I can end up building that cybernetics core. Cybernetics core is actually late. Could be a little smoother. But again, the whole point of this is to introduce this idea of I don't really want you to try to think nonstop about your build right now. What I want you to try to be doing is still doing this 4 tap, 4 tap, 4 tap. And you realize pretty quickly that there's a lot of stuff to check. Alright, so now let's start trying to execute this build in a proper fashion. Alright, so notice how often I'm hitting 4-5. I'm checking this, you know, this might motivate me to get a chrono boost out earlier. Checking my money again, I'm seeing that it's getting kind of high. Checking my minimap. That's done. And I'm going to hit 5E, see right as that finishes, I hit E. 5E I didn't hit just the second my cybernetics core finished. 4E, still going to do this. Still going to be chrono boosting. Alright, cool. I'm going to continue to send this probe out and about. Let's hotkey this sucker, right? Now, the point is not what build I'm doing. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, is Sean going to do the optimized 3-gate expand for Protoss against Zerg? Actually, no, because I intentionally delayed the pylon and delayed the cybernetics core, so it's already suboptimal. The point today is not what build you're doing. It's to make sure that we're constantly looking at the bottom left and looking at the bottom right. Okay, we've looked at the bottom left a lot. Let's look up at our money right now. Oh, gee, why did Sean pause right now? Because, yeah, look, our money's starting to get high. It's starting to get up to 300. Where I'm going to want to add, whoopsie daisies, I'm going to want to add those extra gateways. Oop, I just saw my sentry finish. Now, why did I add those 2 gateways? Because I had the money. That's the only reason why. So I'm still checking the minimap. 4-5, 4-5 minimap. Whoops, look at my money. You see that? I saw that I was getting close. Minimap money. Alright, cool. 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, minimap money. 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, minimap money. This probe that I've been spending a lot of time looking at, I probably don't actually need to spend that much time looking at him. Because I'm actually looking at my minimap quite a lot. Yeah, you said, like you said, you must construct additional pylons. I don't care. I'm just constantly building pylons when I need to. And, you know, some of you really good Protosses might be noting that this pylon here should really be at the bottom of my ramp. Absolutely not something I need to worry about right now. My building placement this game has actually been dog shit. Not something I'm worrying about. Not something I'm worrying about. So let's go ahead and come back into the game. And, oop, these things just finished up. And to a certain extent, these timings, when these gateways get finished, are kind of standard-ish-ized. Kind of standard when they end up finishing. So a lot of times, I don't actually need to constantly spam check, right? I don't need to constantly spam check. I might end up, and by spam check, what I mean is I might not need to constantly hit 5 and see what the production rate is, or see how far these things are from building. I might instead use a timing like when I'm getting close to 6 minutes, that's when those 2 gateways should be finishing, given when I built them. That is kind of when I should have done that. But now, all of a sudden, you're noticing that when I look at the minimap, I can just glance at the timer, and I know exactly what the build rate is on all of my stuff. Now, I need to move my microphone because I can't actually see the bottom half of my computer screen. So let's go ahead and just build us some sentries and a zealot. I'm still doing 5E, 5, 4, 5, 4. Alright, cool. Minimap. Oh, look at that. I have a probe that's at the center watchtower. 4, 5. Is he hotkeyed? Yeah. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. On 4, I can actually check what my chrono boost is. Alright, cool. That's pretty neat. Alright, and with this build, you know, I actually am consciously going to decide not to build out of those warp gates. Because you know what? That's not part of this 5 warp gate push build. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, I'm building some other gateways. 4E, I'm still making sure not to miss that. Now, I know that I'm going to need to start building some pylons right now because all my warp gates are going to be finishing up soon. I'm looking at my minimap, and the minimap is actually what reminded me to check this nexus. Minimap, money. Minimap, money. I'm actually going to re-go through this build yet again after this, just to make certain that we have everything locked down clear. Wow, that's actually getting quite high on energy. It's a good thing I'm going to be building a crap ton of stalkers in a second. 2. Alright, let's go ahead and start doing that there chrono boosting. Oops, 4. C. Oh, gotta make sure, 4, 5, that I'm still hitting all these probes. And oh, my Zerg buddy is going to be in so much pain right now. And this is about where I stop making probes. And I'm going to do some sort of all-in-ish huge attack with the units that I have. I'm just going to build a sentry because I'm awesome and I can. Go forth, my brethren. Now, I want to note that as I was moving these units out, I was looking down here and up here, and that's it. That's all I was doing. That's all I was doing. Now, I talked a lot during that game. Let's go ahead and come back to the score screen. I'm going to restart that entire game again. And I'm just going to execute that basic little start. And I'm going to try to make sure that I have all my triggers set up. I personally am going to be talking a little bit less because in a real attempt at training, I actually am going to have to make sure that I'm not trying to focus more on the daily and instead more on this actual game. Alright, cool. I'm just going to say things like 4, 5. Like 4 is my nexus, 5 is going to be my gateway, so that way I'm consistent with when we did Terran last time. And again, use your own hotkeys, that's fine. Not a big deal. Alright, I'm looking at my money, minimap, money. My money, checking my minimap. Just re-hotkeying, because why not? I ordinarily spam here in a game, but no. See, I'm just checking my money. I was keeping a hawk eye on that thing. I was not looking at my probe line at all, so now I'm going to send him back. So cool. Now I have 4 EEE, because I'm looking at my money, just seeing when that's available. Looking at the pylon, tapping it under 1. Tapping 1, tapping 1. Cool, hit that chrono boost timing, good. Hitting 4. I'm not looking up here, really. I'm looking down at the bottom. I'm looking down at the bottom. I know I have a chrono boost coming up right about now. Cool, I nailed it. My money's starting to get a little high. Notice how much I'm clicking via the minimap? That's quite important. I click like that. This is what I do not do. I do not scroll down to where I need to be. Do not scroll ever. It's really bad. 4E. Let's go ahead and hotkey you. Alright. So now that little probe is going to go forth, and I'm just looking at the minimap. You see that little probe that I have there? I'm looking at him. Alright, looked at my money again, because I was looking at my probe at the minimap, and I need to check my money. I've only just now looked up at the screen. I'm looking down here at my little probey. Alright, there's down here. Alright, everything's looking good. I'm saving a little bit of chrono boost. Okay, cool. Telling him to go here. And, oh, damn, I didn't send it out early enough. Alright, cool. I'm just going to build my gateway there. And I look at my money. Alright, it's looking good. A lot of people will say that this is a supply, or this is a refinery on 18 because they're looking at this thing. I want to be focused more on here. This I really just want to use for pylons, right? Alright, I'm resuming now. I like to hotkey my cybernetics core. I'm a fan of that. See, now I can check my core. Cool. See, I was looking at my money, and now I'm building a zealot, looking at the minimap. Minimap, money, 4, 5, 4, 5. Map, money, 4, 5, 4, 5. Whoopsie daisies, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5E. Didn't end up checking that one, okay. Good, good. Noticing my money's starting to get high enough. And I might say to myself, oh, I messed this up. I need to close this off. Look at me. I just suddenly did a deviation in the build. Nothing wrong with that. I want you to have the freedom of mind to be able to say to yourself, if I made a big error, like, whoops, I didn't wall off, that you can fix that error and that your basic mechanics of the mental checklist are still the guiding principle. Because one of the scariest feelings is, oh my god, I got thrown off my build. Whatever will I do? No big deal. You're going to be right on track in just a moment. And see, the reason I staggered this is all of a sudden I have gateways that are being built at seemingly all sorts of crazy different times. And that is absolutely okay. Because I now have a method to be able to build out of all of them at a proper rate. How much more does that thing have left? Alright. I might, on the fly, decide to throw in another unit here. Nope. I don't think I'll have enough time before the warp gate. I'm getting ready to send the probe out. Minimap, money. 4E. And the minimap is what reminded me to send this guy out. See, look at how often I'm hitting 4E just to constantly build stuff. I'm looking at this guy in the minimap, looking at my money, seeing that I need a pylon, kind of knowing that I needed that earlier. It's a little bit off. I tried to throw this curveball of building this gateway here, and it looks like it messed my timing up a little more than I thought. But 'tis not a big problem. Minimap money. I'm looking at my money. I'm asking myself, when's a good time to build some gateways? Alright. Well, you know what? I think I'm probably going to stop building out my gateways for a little bit. And just do a pretty standard 5-gate push. And what you'll kind of end up feeling is that things will slowly rearrange themselves. So, got distracted for a moment. What you'll notice is that your brain will slowly start rearranging things. You'll still say things like, your brain will be doing things like, well, yeah, oh god, I need to get that gateway up soon. So you'll start checking your money more, and then you'll build the gateway. And you'll be like, what's my scout worker doing? You'll start checking the mini-map more often. That's fine, but it's okay. But what you really have to do is start searching through that list in an active fashion, right? Right now, what I can tell you what I want to be doing is just 5-gate pushing, right? What I want to be doing is 5-gate pushing. And what I'm going to need is this pylon. So I was looking at my money for that. I was looking at my money for when I'd have enough time to end up doing that. But while that was happening, I'm still checking the mini-map. So right now is when I'm going to be building the stalkers, right? I'm going to build 2 more probes, and now I'm going to start building stalkers. And I'm still checking the mini-map here. It's very easy to say, what is the task I need to do right now, and to just overly focus on whatever is associated with that. Like, oh, I need to end up building... I need to build a stalker. Do I have enough money to build stalker? And to only be looking there. But what I want you to do is be looking at the mini-map while you're building. I've trained myself that whenever I build units, I just look here. Whenever I train units, I just look here. And start linking that sort of stuff up in your head. Now, notice how much of this ended up being a build order, right? I did kind of the same thing twice in a row. And what so many people will tell you is, yeah, memorize build orders. Notice that it was kind of different how things went. In game number 1, I didn't give a shit about building placement, right? In game number 2, I pretended more like it was a real game. I built a gateway at the front of my base and then did the fake mess up where I went, oops, I didn't build my cybernetics core in the right place. I better do the instant response and build the gateway to wall myself in quickly. I better hurry up and do that. My build suddenly is totally different from the one that I've memorized, but that is okay because I'm just still focusing on, did I build units? Did I build did I build units? Did I build SCVs? Am I constantly checking the minimap? Am I constantly checking money? Bouncing all the way through those. So what I want to do now is go through an exercise with Zerg in part number 3. So whatever you do, do not go anywhere. We're going to be going into part number 3, just looking at Zerg and how the mental checklist feels for them in an explicit way.